Big drama now over here in the United Kingdom, surrounded of course the forthcoming memorial of His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh. But as ever, who is it, what's it concerning, and what's the real story behind the headlines? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the heart of London. Thank you for joining me today. As ever, we have a big breaking royal story for you today. It's interesting, isn't it, with the Duke of Edinburgh, because a lot of people, loved him. He was simply one of the nicest royals. I think what they liked about him was the fact that he was just cheeky. He didn't stick to the rules, and he said what he thought. I just kind of enjoyed his humour, because he truly was one of these people that didn't stand on ceremony, as they say. And I'm sure Her Majesty the Queen must have got home and cringed, slammed down the royal handbag and said, "What did you say that for?" But that is, of course, why we all loved him so much. So you can imagine the forthcoming memorial service at Westminster Abbey is going to be full of lots of warm memories. There's lots of big names apparently going to be attached to readings, that sort of stuff. But of course, the big sort of central eyes really revolve on this particular person, and this particular couple, should I say, of course, Harry and Meghan. And this is because, as we now know, they wanted some security in order to come back, possibly for that event, which we believe is in the early part of April this year. It's interesting also, isn't it, because it really kicked off with them regarding the Met Police and who should pay, who shouldn't pay, that sort of thing. But truly, the picture gets bigger, and when you think about it, you would think that these two ex-royals might have a little bit more consideration for our gracious Majesty the Queen, given what she's gone through, and more importantly, going to have to sit through with all of her wearing family. We're still unsure at this stage whether the former royal known as Prince Andrew, His Royal Highness the Duke of York, will be attending, or indeed may just make his own private memorial to his late father. Would be such a shame, because I believe he should be able to attend and not be pushed out by the public. As ever, as I've said before here on the show, innocent until proven guilty. But back to the bigger picture. It's very difficult really for Harry and Meghan, because if he do come back over here and pay for their own private security, whichever way they turn, all eyes will be on them. That's the tabloid media. They'll want to know which family members interact, which don't, who ignore, all that sort of stuff. So I don't necessarily see this as a way forward. What I've been told, and as ever, we have to say allegedly on the show, but this is from a very good source, is that both Harry and Meghan could offer the opportunity of a video recorded message, not necessarily to be played out in Westminster Abbey either. This may be played privately at a sort of function afterwards, we believe possibly at Windsor Castle. Now, I think this will be the best way forward for the ex-royals, simply because they know themselves that that day shouldn't be about them. It should be about remembering a super guy, a wonderful man with a great sense of humour, but more importantly, the sole focus should be on and allowing our gracious Majesty the Queen, like the rest of us, to remember this one favourite royal in their own time, in their own space, without, of course, turning it into a media circus about two people who now, allegedly, do not want to be part of that particular family. Let's hope the people who watch this and other shows realise the team around Harry and Meghan, possibly this is the best idea moving forward. Stop the petulance, and more importantly, think about your grandma. And moving forward, Harry, this could actually do you a lot of favours if you decide to stay away. As ever, when I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.